We've done it, boys. November has passed. We are moving on. Hello, I'm Sophie welcome back to my channel. Whichever you are, today I'm going to be talking about my revision process, or more specifically, my zero draft, first draft revision process. So, I don't think I'm the best person to talk about this. I'm just going to, because for every first draft, or zero draft, that I've finished, I have used a different revision method. Let me explain. For Project What, the first novel that I've ever finished, I printed it out. Oh, I don't have that. No! I printed it out. I do not regret this. I don't. Because this is my first novel, and this is very exciting. But I printed it out and revised it within the printed out copy. For the size that this first draft was, it was 64,000 maybe? I liked it. And then for my fantasy, Project Quest, I saved the entire draft as a PDF and transferred it over to my iPad so I could do the same thing that I did here, but digitally. Not awful. I don't know how accessible that'll be once I start the next draft. Just to like flip through all of it like that. Maybe I'll just download it and put it on Google Drive again. I don't know. But that's what I did for my second novel that I finished. And then my third novel, which is the process that I'm going to be using for zero drafts here on out, was straight into the Google Doc with green and red highlighters, as well as yellow for the like comments that you can put on them, on like sentences. And for the first two, for Project What and Project Glass, I did a ton of revision notes. Huge, big picture things that I just wanted to change. For Project Glass, I did like a page of notes. And like, it was like a half page, because it was a very small piece of paper, and that was it. Everything else was in here, or was a list of things that I needed to flesh out a little more. And I feel like these different revision methods worked for these different stories because of the progress that I had in each, or like how complete they really were. Like Project What, I had down, because I had been writing it for much longer than the other two. So it was more fleshed out. It was more thought out. Project Quest, I wrote in a month, but it was still 40,000 words, so it felt pretty good to, you know, give it an external revision. And then Project Glass is 27,000 words. Probably won't get much bigger, in all honesty. It's a very short book. I say that. That is all I have in here, and I was like, I already know a ton of the stuff that I want to change. Like, while I was writing it, I was like, ugh, this is bad. And that's kind of how I'm feeling with Project End, my NaNoWriMo novel. So, you know, why not just do that one? And do that for all of my zero drafts for the foreseeable future. It's the easiest, it's the cleanest, it's the most accessible. Makes sense. Now, for some stats. Like I said, Project Glass is 27,000 words. Project End is 30,000 words. So not too different. I will stress this again. I am very much an underwriter in, like, all aspects. Like, even in Project What, the 60,000, right now, that draft is at 111,000, maybe? I'm still not on Act 3. So, I'm doing it in the docs because so much is gonna change. Like, for Project What, not much changed. So printing it out wasn't the end of the world. Project Quest, I didn't change much, but I added a lot. So, once again, doing all that work wasn't that bad. For Project Glass, I probably won't change, like, a ton, but, like, a lot of different stuff is gonna have to happen. So just doing it on here and not really stressing too much about the presentation or whatever, it works. And Project End, I'm gonna have to change quite a bit already. I'm thinking about it. So doing it on the Google Docs just makes sense. But now, the process. The Google Docs process. I'll go through this one first, and then the others. So, on the Google Docs, I have 3 colors. Red, green, yellow. Yellow is the common default for Google Docs. So, that's just there. Red is for all the things either I forgot to name, or like stuff I forgot to put in there, that's like just in brackets, or is stuff that I think is atrocious and needs to get out of there immediately. Which, thankfully, Doesn't seem like I have too much of. And then on the flip side, green is all the stuff I want to keep. Concepts or sentences or phrases. I have quite a few of those in here that I've kept because I'm narcissistic like that, I guess. So that's basically it that goes into the Google Doc. The good, the bad, the comments. Some things are, you know, praising, like one that says, I am on it with the foreshadowing. But also some are just there, like, turn this into a flashback and maybe make this scene useful. And then, aside from that, for Project Glass at least, I made a list of everything that I wanted to expand. So the main character's relationship, they are sisters, but I wanted to just flesh that out a bit. The government in this entire thing, because it is a virus, it is a disease, the government has to be involved. Certain settings, certain other relationships that the main characters had, stuff like that. And I do intend on doing this with Project End. Also, first and foremost, I compile a list of things I already know I have to change in my project spreadsheet. Yes, I have project spreadsheets. And what? They're great. I have a little tab that says draft 0 revisions or whatever, and I just put all the things that I know I have to change while I'm writing it there so I can keep an eye on them and not forget them, because if I don't write them down, I will forget them. And also, if I know there's some big picture things that I know I'm going to keep, I'll put them on a piece of paper, probably in the project notebook. In Project Glass's case, I did it on a separate piece of paper and just stuck it in the notebook because the notebook is quite small and I didn't want to gunk it up with revision notes, I guess. And then for my other processes, they're pretty similar, except like for this one, for Project Quest, I had different highlighters except for the green and the blue, or green and the red, that were like, this yellow is for timing and like timeline sort of thing. I'll highlight where it says like the next day, so I could just, you know, understand the timeline and hope I didn't mess it up. And then right below that, the senior center, I highlighted all the settings so I could flesh them out because I knew a lot of them would stay. And then over here, purple, your grandmother, characters. I think all the characters that I had in the first draft have stayed in the second one. That's pretty nice. And then also, instead of the Google Docs comments, I just have red pen comments, which sometimes make me laugh. I am kind of really funny. Also, another timeline thing, I put how many days the chapter takes up. And then also, these sticky notes are just a summary of what happened in the chapter. I did those in Project Quest. I just drew a little fake sticky note on my drawing app on my iPad and then just dropped them in so I could have them. It serves no purpose, the visual sticky note, but I thought it was fun. I like this whole sequence, apparently. Both Project Quest had like 10 pages of notes that I have sifted through and that I probably will have to keep sifting through for a while. But, you know, those are kind of useful. Maybe I wasted some of my time because so much is going to change anyways, but I'm not doing that for Project End because those notes may become worthless in like a draft. So that's my revision process. It might take me like a week or two because it's so short and I can just bloop 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 without having to take too many notes or having to catch too many things. I'm looking at it like a reader, trying to figure out what's wrong, and going on to draft 2. Or I guess draft 1, because this is called draft 0. And then, once I start this novel again, like draft 1, I don't have to go look for a physical book or go into my iPad and sift through digital papers. I just have to go into my Google Drive, which is relatively organized, and find the 0 draft, and there's all my notes. It's not too hard, not too difficult on my little brain. But that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. How's your revision process? Any different or any way similar? Do you do the good and bad highlights like me? Or do you have a much more extensive, probably much more beneficial process? This is all I do. This is it. It's not much, but it gets the job done. But yes, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.